The alley behind the city's towering buildings was draped in silence. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, and the temperature had dropped near freezing. Ramu, who worked as a daily wage laborer, was huddled on the stone ledge of an old shop. All he had to cover himself was an old jute sack and a thin torn blanket. The cold was so severe it felt as if needles of ice were dissolved in the air. Ramu didn't even have proper clothes to wear. He kept his hands stuck tightly under his armpits, his teeth chattering uncontrollably. A night of struggle, he kept shifting his position, sometimes pulling his knees to his chest and other times pressing against the wall, but the floor, cold as stone, shook him to his very bones. He thought to himself, "Perhaps tonight is my last night." The combination of hunger and cold had broken his spirit. Just then, he noticed some trash burning a little distance away. He crawled toward it, but the fire was dying out. He tried to warm his palms with the glowing embers, but that comfort lasted only a few moments. A ray of humanity. Suddenly, a car pulled up on that deserted road. Ramu feared it might be the police coming to shoo him away. He shrank back even further in fear. However, a young man stepped out of the car. He saw Ramu's condition and, without saying a word, pulled out a heavy wool blanket and a thermos of hot tea from the back seat. The man draped the new blanket over Ramu's shoulders and handed him a disposable cup filled with steaming tea. Tears welled up in Ramu's eyes. The first sip of hot tea breathed life back into his body, and the heavy blanket finally blocked out the lethal chill. Conclusion: the stranger drove away, but for Ramu, the night was no longer terrifying. That night, he realized that while the world has its bitter cold, the warmth of someone's heart is still very much alive.